In this video, we're going to talk about the attitude spiral's effect on both the way that you view the situations that you find yourself in and your intention. Real quick, please flip back to page 25 of your playbook. You're going to find the attitude spiral. With what you wrote before, it should look like this. With that note about being either disempowering or empowering, I want you to add some more notes to this. When you're down here at the bottom of the attitude spiral, where you are disempowered, you might feel anger, frustration, overwhelm, needing to prove something, shame, guilt, fear, grief, or depression, that powerlessness or like you're not worthy. And you might say things like, I can't, I'm not good enough, or why me? But when you're up here at the top of the attitude spiral, empowered, you might feel optimistic or hopeful, happy or joyful, enthusiastic or motivated, appreciative or grateful, loving or passionate. And when you feel those things, you can find yourself saying things like, I can, I'm good at, and I got this. Now, in the middle of the spiral, we have neutral and stagnant. That energy is where you might say things like, why bother? It is what it is. The fact is, I want to, but I have to. Regardless of however true some things may be, at the end of the day, this neutral, stagnant place is ultimately not empowering you. And over time, it can hinder your progress, slowing down the results that you will see. And both destructive and neutral attitudes each have a kind of gravitational pull that weighs you down, and they can keep you in that bottom of the spiral, preventing you from shifting quickly up to the top of the attitude spiral where you literally just feel better about pretty much everything because you have more energy and enthusiasm. So you also tend to see results a lot faster up here with anything that you put your mind to. Now, most people don't know it, but there's one attitude that is simply the most important of all because it's the attitude that helps us transition up out of the bottom, where everything is obviously not fun at all, into the top of the attitude spiral, where options are available to you that you simply cannot access from the bottom. That one attitude is the attitude that you always have access to, that is always freely available to you. And that one attitude is courage. All of the attitudes that you see on the attitude spiral are necessary and valid, even the destructive ones. But the main goal is for you to find yourself more frequently in the state that is an empowered state, especially when it's time for you to take action on your ultimate priority that you identified in your activation code. The reason why courage matters so much in the process of getting fit and staying fit is because you're going to be constantly tested. Stressful obstacles will pop up. You won't feel like doing the program because of XYZ. You'll feel self-conscious or start judging yourself or others for various reasons. You'll have to make choices. And the more frequently you can access your courage and direct it towards your fitness and nutrition because you know it supports your progress, the easier you'll find it to take the actions that move you forward and keep you up in the top of the attitude spiral. Okay, so that's the attitude spiral. Let's flip back to page 30 because now we're going to talk about how the attitude spiral affects your perception of this situation, as well as the intention that you bring to it. Next to this little reminder here, I want you to write out constructive, neutral, destructive, because those are all the main categories that all of your thoughts fall into. When you find yourself in a situation, your view of that situation is either constructive, neutral, or destructive. For example, let's say I have to eat something right now. That's just the fact. No fluff, right? It's true, but it's also not empowering. A constructive way of seeing this is it's time to refuel my body with the good stuff. Can you notice how the tone of that improves? There's some excitement and enthusiasm in there, valuing the process and experience, making the most out of it. A destructive way of seeing this is healthy food is boring, costly, and takes too long. It's time consuming to prepare. All that fresh and organic stuff is just so expensive. And not to mention, it goes bad fast, right? And does it even taste good? Can you notice how that tone takes a dive down? There's stress and maybe some resentment or overwhelm in there. Now, the thing is that your attitude about this situation also affects the intention that you bring. So, if your view is constructive, it's more likely you'll bring a constructive intention. So, you might say, I enjoy the food that nourishes my body. This intention empowers you right now by focusing on the benefit of taking the correct action. But if your view is neutral, it's more likely you'll bring a neutral intention. So here you might say, cooking just creates more work for myself. And although it might be true, it's not constructive and it creates obstacles that prevent you from quickly moving forward. Now, the neutral intention focuses on the wrong thing. And so it's a distraction and it delays progress. And if your view is destructive, it's more likely you'll bring a destructive intention. So here you might say, it doesn't matter what I eat because of my genes. Now, this intention disempowers you and it takes away any options for progress. You can see here with these side by side that these three views of the situation and the three intentions are incredibly different from each other. The destructive one takes you out of the game completely. The neutral one, it still hinders your progress. And the constructive one is the only one that clearly supports you. Now, of course, it's possible for you to fake your intention and pretend to be positive, but it takes a ton of energy. And as we talked about before with the law of diminishing returns, that's where the amount of effort you put in dramatically rises because it's not genuine and you're likely to see smaller results. The most effective option is for you to identify something about the situation that you find empowering, because that starts a chain reaction that allows you to find a genuinely empowering intention. When you start from such massively different places, everything else that flows from it is affected. Now that you've got a quick introduction to how the attitude spiral can affect your view of situations and also the attitude that you bring, let's move into the demonstrations of how to use the situation adjusters so that you can navigate around the concerns, reasons, fears, or bad habits that have been slowing you down in your results with fitness and nutrition.